Hello everyone, I hope you're all having a fantastic day so far. This is just a quick video to talk about Google's new sort of like wave and innovation in terms of making sure that their long-standing 10 plus year AI technology is becoming a bit more public, should we say. Okay, now it's no surprise that Google has been trying to develop their digital artificial intelligence for a very long time, but it's been very cryptic. And Chat GPT 3.5 version 4 etc just comes in and says it doesn't need to be a secret. And all of a sudden AI is now a priority when it comes to Google. I think it's always been a priority for them. However, there is more of a focus in making sure that the world knows, the public knows what they're capable of. And of course, there have been many different sort of like things where, Google have been allowing users to test things. So for example, there's something known as the AI kitchen. You may be able to see it. Yeah, you can see it there. If you click on it, it gives you the opportunity to test different stuff. Okay, so you may not be able to see it because, yeah, there's all of this stuff here. Okay, you can test this different stuff. So right now you can sign in, and yeah, I think right now you can type out text and it will give you the music equivalent of what you're trying to establish and get. And so really cool stuff. But I'm interested in its Bard feature. Okay, so what is Bard? Bard is essentially part of some technology known as, I believe, Lambda or Palm 2, I want to say. Apologies for the noise. And essentially, it is their version of Chat GPT. So let me just give you an example here. Okay, if I just open this up and I just share my screen, you can see I've hidden some of it for various reasons. I'm going to do a bit of a test, but you can see that I can type in some things here. And obviously this is Chat GPT as you know it. And essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask it the same questions and see what happens. Okay, so let's do this. So what should I pay my girlfriend for Valentine's Day? Now of course I did this in my previous video, so you can check that out, but let's see what happens. So let's see what Bard does, and we want to see how quick this is. I already tested this before, but not this specific question. So let's see what happens. So it's loading, and we'll see. It pops up with a lot of stuff. Okay, so there are many things you can give your girlfriend for Valentine's Day depending on her interests and what you can afford. Here are a few ideas: flowers, jewelry, chocolates, etc. So you can see it just throws it out there. And of course, you can export this response, or you can copy it, and you can say whether it's a good response or a bad response. And again, as you can see, you won't be able to see it now, and I'll show you later on. This is under experiment phase. Okay. So then let me try this with Chat GPT. So let me just put this in and let me press enter, see what happens. And of course, it does the typical thing where it's typing out. Now, for me personally, I like to scroll up and then down again if I'm on my mobile phone testing this out, because the typing feature, I mean, it's nice to know that it's thinking about it and it's doing it, but I don't know if it's necessary. I kind of like the speed at which Bard is going at. So it's got personalized gifts. It's got experiences, sentimental gifts, thoughtful gestures, hobby-related gifts, jewelry, and accessories. So if you look at this versus Bard, okay, it's not as much. Okay, and I think the neat thing that Bard is trying to do here is it's trying to give you additional tips as well. And you'll notice there's a bit of a theme of Bard trying to do that, because it's kind of like, oh, you're getting more for the price of one, so to speak. Okay, so if you're reading this, you could argue that actually ChatGPT gives me more for my buck, so to speak. It's not trying to do any gimmicks or anything like that. It's going straight to the point. Okay. So again, we can tick this if we want to, and give some feedback if need be. So let's try the next question. So the next question is centered around what are the top most visited places in the world. So again, we spoke about this before in terms of lists and everything else. Let's go to Bard. And let's go here. Let's put this prompt in. Let's go to enter. It's thinking about it with these. This seems to be the AI sort of icon that is globally being used at the moment. And so it's given me all these different places. So Times Square, Eiffel Tower, etc., etc. These are all places I want to check out actually. So I'm gonna like that and keep that for my records. And if I go to ChatGPT, let me see if I can do the same thing, and let's see if it gives me a similar response. So this is, so it's, the difference is here is giving me a timescale. So of course, because I'm using the free version, okay, essentially it's only going to be up to 2021, so to speak. What I like about Chat GPT is that it's given me some in-depth information. And if we look at the difference between the two, we got Times Square, Eiffel Tower, Great Wall. Let's just go with those first three. So, okay, we don't have exactly the same, but there are similar ones. It's given me 10 here and it's given me 10 here. So slightly different. So they're probably getting it from different sources. And of course, Google has its own pool of information. So yeah, it's going to come from different places as well, because I guess, you know, with ChatGPT, it's talking about sourcing its information from the internet. Whereas, of course, you and I know Google as the internet, so to speak, but it's getting it from Google's warehouses. So it'd be interesting to see what's deemed as more accurate, so to speak. That's something that can be checked out. Okay, let's go for another question. So who was Winston Churchill? Let's go here and go to Bard. Let's put that in. And by the way, the reason why some of my screen is cut off is only because I don't want you guys checking out, you know, the chats I've been having with Chat GPT. So I'll change that in a second, but don't worry, we're just going through this stuff. So it's given me 4 mini paragraphs. Okay, so who he was, where he was born, a bit about his life, and where he died. Okay, so that's good information, it seems like. Let's see what Mr. Chat GPT or Mrs. Chat GPT does for us. So let's press enter. So, it recognizes that Winston Churchill was a sir. Okay, go straight into it. So there's a bit of a chronological order. So while it's typing that, I just want to come back to this. So this is more of like a summary. And of course, I didn't mention, if you click here, it gives you different versions of, again, what, you know, Bard could have said, which is quite interesting. Okay, so if we come here, it's given me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more paragraphs. Now, it doesn't mean it's necessarily better, but it feels a bit more comprehensive. And of course, you can regenerate your response if you want to, and it will do that. But Bard is doing this already. So if I click on number 2, it pops up straight away. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 paragraphs. If I go to draft 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it's given me much more information. And again, it's telling me where the sources come from. So that's quite unique. Now, of course, ChatGPT doesn't do that, but you can add this web access tool. Okay, so this is something that you can find on the Chrome store. If I go to, and of course you can rate this, if I regenerate this, then what it will do, I think it will give me some links. I may be completely wrong, but let's just see what happens there. Okay, so of course, whilst it's doing that stuff, you can see the older versions of the information as well. Okay, you can do that. So whilst it's finished doing that, I can go back. So of course it hasn't added the web access because of course it's going based on the previous conditions. Let me just take that off, but this is something to just bear in mind. It's called the Web Chat GPT extension version 3.3.1. There may be a newer version, but something for you to check out yourself. Okay, cool. This is getting interesting. I hope you're getting an idea of what you think is better. So give me the theory of relativity. I mean, I don't know the actual theory of relativity, so it's going to be difficult to know. So let me just put that in there and let me just paste that in here. Let's just go. Let's just give me some information. So it's going with it. ChatGPT must be good right now during this time on a Friday. So it's giving me all this information. Special theory of relativity. Einstein proposed this special theory of relativity in 1905. It's giving me all this information and it's just going in. Okay. Ooh. So here we have, I'm not able to help with that as I'm only a language model. I'm going to say why. I'm asking about the theory of relativity. Do you know much about it? Do you know much about it? This will be interesting. So already we've seen a flaw that has popped up with Bard, okay? Okay, so it's popped up. I don't know why it didn't give me information before. Maybe I needed to give more, again, description behind the question. So yes, I know a lot about the theory of relativity. You can see there's more of an informal vibe with this. It is one of the most important and influential theories in physics. It was developed by Albert Einstein in the early 20th century. The theory of relativity has 2 main parts: special relativity and general relativity. Special relativity deals with the relationship between space and time. Okay, I like this. Let's see what the other answers are. Okay, so it's given me a bit more information here. And it feels like the third draft gives you much more information. So it's kind of varied in its response. So you can see that Google are going with some sort of theme in terms of how they're approaching this. Again, what Chat GPT has given you is what it generates first, I guess, so to speak. And again, it's pretty comprehensive, and maybe you like it or don't like it, but this is what it's giving. So you can compare between the two. Let's keep this going. So give me a headline for people wanting to lose weight for a landing page. So let's just do that. Let's go to Bard. Let's pop this in and let's go enter. And let's do the same for Chat GPT. Okay, so let's do that. So discover the ultimate weight loss solution, transform your body and boost your health. So it's just given me one. That's fair enough. I didn't tell it to give me loads. So here it's given me quite a few. So lose weight fast and safely with our proven method. Get the body you've always wanted with our weight loss program. Say goodbye to unwanted weight and hello to a new you. Okay, start your weight loss journey today. Okay, so what I like is that it's given me more, and it's given me some tips for effective headline stuff. So this whole, you can get, when you go to Five Guys, okay, I know this is a random example, and essentially at Five Guys, you ask for the chips or the chicken or whatever it may be, and you get loads of chips, okay? And essentially Five Guys can afford to do that, but you don't know that. You think, why are they giving me so much chips? They're pretty much filling up your bag. And this is pretty much what Google is doing based on what I'm seeing. They're giving you their bit and they're giving you additional tips. So it feels like you're getting more for one, okay? Now, which one do I prefer? Discover the ultimate weight loss solution. I mean, I kind of like where ChatGPT is going with this. It feels more typical when it comes to the marketing world. I think Bard are trying to be safe, so to speak, but I can see what they're doing too. And I like the fact that they're trying to give me solutions. Well, not even solutions, trying to educate me in terms of how I can do this for myself, so to speak. What I like about this, I'm going to try and use this feature actually, is you can use the microphone, okay? So let's go to the next question. So write me a project development plan for a healthcare organization wanting to, let me see if I can put that somewhere because I'm going to forget this. Okay, so give me 1 second, please, where I place this somewhere. Let's see if their sort of like speaking feature is pretty good. So let's go here and let's just move this in a bit. So let's go. So let's allow this. Write me a project development plan for a healthcare organization wanting to, it's not working, is it? That's not good. Let's try this again. Write me a project development plan for a healthcare organization wanting to transform their elective care pathway in London with £5 million to spend in 18 months. Pretty good. I like it. I like it. Let's see, it's thinking about it. So let's go to the Chat GPT. That's pretty good. Like doing that live, see what happens. Let me change this to the other view so you can see it for yourself. So, ooh, it's typing for me. So you would have seen this in my previous video. So let me go to Bard. Okay, so sure, here's a project development plan for a organization to transform their elective, transform their elective care pathway. So the new model of, so this is a code snippet. So reducing waiting times, improving patient care. Where do I put these snippets? So where do I put this stuff? So let's just go here. It says learn more. I want to learn more about this. So, and again, I'll show you that in a second actually. If I just go to drafts and go to draft 2. Okay, this I prefer. This is what I'm used to. So it's giving me a project overview. So let me just change my screen so you can see this properly. It's giving me a project overview, which is really cool. Project objectives, okay? So what we're looking to actually achieve in bite size, the scope, so what's in scope, the budget, okay, and what it's for, the timeline, okay, I like this, the project team, okay, this is really cool, the risks, so it can do plans. This is pretty good. I like this, and I like the fact that you can sort of like, use this information. If I download this, you can export it into a draft Gmail document. So let's just see what that looks like. Open in Gmail, and let's just wait for it to pop up. Okay, so it does pop up. It does pop up. So let me just make this, give me 1 second so you can see this. So let's go to this view. So yes, it does pop up. It all pops up in your Gmail, which is really cool. And if I go to download again and I go to export to docs, let's see what happens there. So open in docs. And I think this is the neat thing about it. You can put all of this into documents straight away. I mean, if I, let's say for example, if we do this with the next one and we copy it, we can add that information there as well. So if I go back to the big screen, let's go to Chat GPT. So again, Chat GPT, this feels very solid. So yes, there's the objective, there isn't the overview and everything else, but it just, I feel like Chat GPT gives me comprehensive bulleted lists, and it makes me feel like, yeah, it's itemized things a certain way. And that's what I appreciate about the Chat GPT. It may even be a bit more closer to reality, so to speak, but this may be based on the fact that there's more data that it's playing around with, so to speak. So let's try the test with the other ones. Again, I hope you're coming to some conclusions yourself. So let's go to Bard. Let me like this because I like its approach. Tell me a your mama joke. Let's go. Your mama was so fat when she went to the beach, Greenpeace tried to roll her back into the ocean. Wow. Here's another one. Your mama's so ugly when she went to the haunted house, they paid her to leave. I've heard that one before. Your mama's so stupid she thought a quarterback was a refund. I'm not gonna lie, this is pretty lit. I'm not gonna lie to you. Let's see what ChatGPT can do. Before it was telling me it couldn't do it, but I think it's kind of changed its tune a little bit. You see, as an AI model, I strive to provide helpful and respectful responses. I am programmed to follow ethical guidelines which not engage in blah blah blah. Therefore, I won't provide a your mama joke. If you have any other non-offensive questions or need assistance for a different topic, feel free to ask. Let's see if I regenerate. So it's not looking to give me that. And it's being persistent here saying no. It's fair enough. I mean, it's interesting because I know there was something where there was a difference in response when it came to a Christian joke versus another religious joke. I think it was Islam. So that's interesting that it's done that. And this is not me highlighting anything specifically, but I think sometimes it picks and chooses, or it's going through iterations and developments based on feedback that it's getting. So yeah, Google's just gone, yeah, whatever, I'm going to give you that information. It is what it is. Let's keep on going. Okay, we're almost done. So give me code to add a search bar to my WordPress site. Okay, so let's just do this. And let's see if it does this. And we'll wait for it to generate. We'll see what ChatGPT does. And we will go for it. Certainly. So it's doing this. And it's developing the information. I want it to give me the code though. So let's see if it does that. Wow. So Google are giving it to me straight away. Okay. No time wasted. If I go to draft 2, are these different versions? Yes, these are different versions. So if you're a coder, you will know if it's better or not. So this is the HTML type. This is, I don't know, I'm not a coder. You guys will know better than me if you're a coder. So this is pretty cool, okay? If I go to ChatGPT, it's given me some code, but it doesn't feel as comprehensive. Maybe it's better, who knows? But I'm kind of leaning to Bard, if I'm honest with you, with this one. Maybe I need to get a coder to verify this. So if you're a coder, let me know below. I know my friend Chima can help me out here. So let me know, Chima. And here's the final thing. So let's go to give me the history of Ghana. So I'm just finding something very quickly. So just I want to see what it does. So if I just highlight all of this text and I go to Bard, I will say the following: summarize this text. So let's see what it does. And I'll do the same. I'll do it in the same way. I know you can use the TDLR thing, but I'm going to say it like this: summarize this text. If I just go here, go enter, see what happens. Again, apologies for the noise. Everyone's drilling on a Friday for some reason. So yeah, it's a bit annoying. But what can we do? So this is a summary. The Republic of Ghana was named after the medieval West African Ghana Empire. The empire was located in modern-day Senegal, Mauritania, and Mali is correct. It was founded in the 4th century and lasted until the 11th century. The empire was a major trading power and known for its gold and salt. That's correct. Cool. This seems pretty sound. This is also pretty summary, but I think that's a bit more summary. That's the same information. The ancient Ghana Empire is geographically located, the West modern state. Okay, that's the same. So it gives me a bit more information about it, which is really cool, which I really like. So this is giving me a bit more information, if I'm honest with you. So I'm kind of leaning towards that, but let's see the other drafts, okay? So again, this gives me more information actually. So this is key because it's telling me that the draft sort of aspect of it is really important when it comes to Bard. Okay, so this is something to bear in mind. Now I'm going to make some changes to my screen just so this is easier to see and everything else. So just bear with me so far. But I want you to think about, what do you think is better? Do you prefer Bard or do you prefer Chat GPT? I don't think there's a clear winner. I think there are some instances where Bard is definitely better. I think there are other instances where ChatGPT is better. ChatGPT will give you more in-depth, bulleted sort of lists. It's reliable in a sense that, well, it's not fully reliable. Let's not get twisted, and it's not fully accurate. But the point I'm making is that it has more data to work with because it's had more months to play around with stuff. Now, that doesn't mean that Google doesn't have the stuff, but this is the first time it's playing with things publicly, so to speak. And if you check out what it says on the Google screen, you should be able to see it properly now. This is still an experiment phase, okay? They were playing around with this using the AI kitchen that I showed you at the beginning and all of that kind of stuff there. But I'm pretty impressed. Now, there are things that you can do. So Bard may display inaccurate or offensive information that doesn't represent Google's views. So they're making that clear right now. It may be rude and offensive, but this has nothing to do with Google. Yeah, Google supplied the product. Anywho, you can change the theme to dark theme. You can go back to light theme. It does keep stuff, so to speak. Okay, so this is all of the activity that it keeps. So you can see all of the different prompts. So this is everything that I've asked it. And there are sort of like questions I asked before. So what can I use you for? It gave me a response for that. Let's just see the details. And does it give me what it says? It doesn't give me what it says, but this is the activity, okay? So if I go to manage, what does it do? Okay, cool. If I go back, yeah, I can delete this if I want. If I want to delete all of this stuff, I can delete all of this stuff. So dismiss this, and yeah, I can delete the bits that I want to delete, which is pretty cool. So I like that. Let me just go back and go back again and go back. Do I need to go back? No. We got updates as well, so it will give us information in terms of what's happening with Bard, so you can check out all the releases, which is pretty cool. I know there is this release relating to the fact that you'll be able to use Bard for imaging and all of that kind of stuff there, which is here. So you can check out this link, which talks more about how they're going to be launching this stuff. Okay, so making your interactions with Bard more visual. So when you put in a prompt, it will give you those images as being showed by this GIF as well. So it's really exciting what's coming. I haven't seen anything in terms of creating images, so to speak, yet. But I know there's been stuff I think was tested with AI Kitchen, which is linked to Bard, Lambda, and Palm 2, so to speak. If we go back to the Bard sort of stuff, there's all this stuff on FAQs, which is cool. So it'll tell you all about, sort of like what Bard is and everything else, so you can get more understanding behind that. Does it give you accurate responses? Again, I don't need to go through all of this stuff, okay? You can sort of like check it out for yourself, but it is developing as we speak. It's really, really cool what it's able to do. If I go back to it, there's only one chat, so they felt it was useful to have just one chat. You can reset all of this stuff if you want to, okay? So if I reset it, then again, it will ask me this, and then everything will reset, and then I can start again. Okay, so take it as you will. You can use both to see how it works out. It'll be interesting to see if they make this purely a free tool, And I'm excited to see how it sort of like works with other sort of like technologies and softwares. I know, for example, I believe watching a previous video that the person was talking about how it may link in with Adobe Firefly. So Adobe Firefly is the thing that's kind of like rivaling Midjourney and Leonardo and all these other sort of like AI imaging sort of like generative tools. So let me know what you think. Is this something that you're going to try out? Do you think Google's going to completely take over? I secretly think they're going to be leading in some way, shape or form. Not purely based on this video, but because of the type of organization that I think Google is. So let me know your thoughts below. I'd love to know. Anyway, take care. God bless. Understand, reach and expand. Peace.